Hey Joyride ladies, it's Nikki, and today I wanted to show you how to use this hunger and fullness scale. If there's one thing that you can do to learn how to get back in touch with your hunger and fullness cues so that you're not overeating at meals or you're not undereating throughout the day, it's using this scale. So as you can see, this hunger and fullness scale is numbered 0 through 10. 0 being you are so ravenous, you are so hungry, you would eat anything, you are hangry, you're mad, you could even feel sick, you could feel nauseous, your energy levels are tanked. This is not a place that we want to be. A 10 on this scale is way too full. You are uncomfortable. You have eaten so much food, your stomach is stretched to the 9, you feel sick, you feel like you need to lay down, maybe have a nap, you're way too full. So as you can see, we don't want to be on either end of this scale. Now the middle is a 5. This is just a feeling of nothingness. You're content. You're neither full, you're neither hungry, you're just nothing. This is how you'll spend most of your day, is at this 5. It won't happen right after you eat a meal, but an hour or two after you eat a meal, you're sitting in this zone. And before you're starting to get hungry, you're sitting in this zone. When you start to move away from that zone is when you're either starting to get hungry or you're starting to get full. And these are the cues that we want to look for. So your first hunger cues are going to be that your thoughts drift away from whatever you're doing. You're starting to think about food. Maybe your tummy is rumbling a little bit. Maybe your concentration levels are lower. Maybe you're getting a little bit shaky, you're not as coordinated, things like that. So those are kind of your first subtle cues. That's when you're heading to a 4. A 3, maybe you're getting even more, those physical sensations of hunger, of your stomach rumbling and things like that. That's where you want to eat, a 3 to a 4. So you're kind of comfortably hungry. You're not too hungry, you're not hungry, you're just at that good zone. The reason why we want to eat in that zone is because you're not starving yet, you're able to make a choice that maybe you're more comfortable with. You're able to ask yourself, what am I hungry for? What am I feeling like? And make a choice that'll make you feel better. So you're more likely to eat a balanced meal. Whereas if you let yourself get to that 2 or that 1 where you're getting really hungry, you're really shaky, maybe you're getting a headache, maybe you're starting to feel nauseous, you're starting to get hangry, as everyone likes to say, that's when you want carbs. That's when your blood sugars have dropped so low, and that's what your brain uses for fuel. So your brain is like, give me carbs, and it releases hormones that drive you to eat those carbs. So guess what? You're not eating a balanced meal. You're not eating veggies or fruit or whatever you intended to eat that day. You're eating crackers, cookies, chips, whatever you can get your hands on. So when we let ourselves get to there, we're not going to make the food choices we want. Also, what happens if we let ourselves get to there, then you're more likely to overeat as well. So you're going to go all the way closer to that 10 because you're so hungry. You're not eating slowly. You're not eating mindfully. You're not enjoying your meal. You're shoving that meal in your face as quickly as you can just because you're so hungry. So to reiterate, you want to start eating when you're in that 3 to 4 zone. So how do you know when to stop your fullness? So when you start to move to that 6 is when you're starting to get some fullness in your body. So 6 to 7 is kind of like, meal isn't tasting as good anymore. Your thoughts are drifting away from that meal. You're thinking about what you're going to do later. You're thinking about, whatever chores you have for the rest of the day or things you have to do with your kids. So a 6 to 7 is your starting. Maybe you're getting a little bit of physical fullness, so slight physical fullness, not to the point where you're feeling too full or anything like that. And then that 7 to 8 is more where you're really getting a little bit more of that fullness feeling. So there is that 20-minute disconnect between when your stomach tells your brain that it's full. So if you stop in that comfortable fullness in that 6 to 8 range, then you're going to feel comfortably full 10, 15, 20 minutes later after the meal. So that's a good place to stop. If we overeat and we get to that 8, 9, 10, that's when, we start to feel that uncomfortable fullness where our stomach is way too full. Feelings of guilt and shame come along with that fullness too, because we overate, we don't feel good physically, we don't feel good mentally. So trying to stop 6 to 8 range. The more and more you do this, the easier it's going to get. I know at first you're gonna feel like you're thinking about this way too much, and it's almost gonna feel like dieting again, where you're thinking and thinking about these signals, but I promise you, you just need to do that for the first little bit to get in touch with those hunger and fullness sensations. The more and more you do it, it's gonna become second nature. So yes, at first you're gonna be overthinking it, but that's okay. You gotta get back in touch with those signals. So let me know how it goes. I can't wait to hear about rediscovering your hunger and fullness signals, and I can't wait to chat with you again. Bye.